What's going on, everybody? What's happening? Welcome back to the bullshit. You know all about the bullshit. You get plenty of that here, don't you? Where has everyone been? Anyway, huh? What have I been doing? First, before I get into it, I gotta say, as always, I appreciate everyone who emailed, text, commented and all that shit. Wondering where the hell I went. Just been kind of busy with all that life shit, Haven't been having a whole lot of a chance to do any of the YouTubing. I'm probably going to get back into it, but I always say that, right? I just figured I'd hop on here and, talk some nonsense. Probably be a pretty long video because I'm going to do kind of more of that format, I think, of just longer videos and less videos because I get a little busy, you feel me? You feel me on that one? So what's going on? I got this new job here, right? It's going all right. I was having my doubts about it. And I'm not 100% sure yet. But we got off to a little bit of a rough start on this here deal. Some of it's me. Come on. Let's just admit it. Some of it's me. Mr. Job Hopper, Mr. Picky, Mr. used to making all kinds of fucking money, and we ain't doing that right now, are we? Most of us aren't, are we? Got us a little bit of a truck recession, overcapacity confuction going on here, don't we? This is worse than the whole 2008 gig. I tell you that, and I bailed the fuck out in 2008. Well, in 2010 I did finally. After I was working for 25% less and still doing the same job. But I don't really have that option right now, I'm all about being in this truck. I ain't got a whole hell of a lot going on. I don't want to go back to being a mechanic. It don't pay enough. I'm getting offers. Believe it or not, my old ass is still getting offers. $30 an hour, but, maybe if I had a spouse and a second income, but on one income, it wouldn't be enough. It wouldn't be enough for all the stuff that I like to have, the way I like to live. But shit's going pretty good. I think I came in a little hard on the boss man, so the dude I'm working for here, he's got 10 trucks. He runs all of his own shit. So he's my dispatcher. So when I say dispatcher, I'm talking about the dude that owns the shit. And I do believe he pretty much does everything, payroll, dispatch, fucking all the permits and everything. He's kind of a one-man show, so ultimately, he is pretty busy. If you stop and think about it, he is pretty busy. You got all that. Then you got all the drivers with all the problems. Maybe me sometimes. You feel it? Maybe me. So, he's got a lot of shit going on. But I went a little hard on him. You know how I can be. I've been in this business for a minute. So, you can't bullshit me a whole lot. I've been around. So you ain't gonna be bullshitting me. We had to get that whole thing figured out a little bit. And just the personalities. I like it overall. He's a little different, but I like it. He's real. Sometimes we cuss and swear at each other. It happens. It's happened a couple times. But we're simmering down, and I'm gonna go a little bit easier on him. I don't trust none of this shit. I've worked for so many fucking companies that screw me over, and they're trying to fuck me on this and that and the other thing. I mean, there's some shit here, right? Like, we don't get paid for our first 50 miles of deadhead, right? Shit like that. I'm not gonna say that's fucking me over because, I agreed to it. I'm free to leave whenever I want. I'm just saying that I'm not really used to all that kind of shit. Now, back in the old days, if you ain't been in trucking, well, for a long time there, a lot of companies, they didn't pay deadhead miles. True story, man. True story. When we were empty, we weren't getting paid. So, everyone's like, oh, trucking's fucking shitty, including me. Including me, I get on here and bitch about trucking, but a lot of ways, it's gotten a lot better. Just the trucks alone. I started in a fucking cab over, and then I finally moved into one of them, like you see some of the prime trucks are, where the sleeper's right here behind the seat and all that bullshit. And now we got these Cascadias and, Kenworths and whatnot, and they got quite a bit of room. Fuck the Max. I think we talked about that before, right? Fuck the Max. There ain't no room in them bastards. So on that trust thing, I want to tell you a little story, right? This here's a true story. And I got permission from Sizzling Trucker. If you guys don't know who Sizzling Trucker is, go check her out. She's a friend of mine. She's got a YouTube channel she just started up not too long ago that she's building on. So go check her out. Here's the deal with that whole deal on the whole trust and the way that these fucking companies can be. And this here's a prime example and a great story of it. A sad story, but a good example, right? So Sizzling Trucker and her husband were out trucking, and they were out in like Virginia or something like that, right? And they pulled off after they delivered their load, and her husband went back and swept the trailer out. And he come back to the truck, and they were sitting in the truck chilling, and he told her he didn't feel very well. And the next thing you know, he falls down right here between the shifter and shit. Now she's freaking out, you know. She's trying to get a hold of 911 and shit, but they're out in a rural area, can't get a hold of 911. They finally get a hold of 911. 911 comes out, you know, the paramedics pull him out of the truck. They take him to the hospital. By the time she gets to the hospital and gets into his room and everything, he's all hooked up on like that life support and all. You know, if you've ever seen anybody all up on the tubes and all the fucking bullshit in the hospital that, you know, you care about, that's a pretty fucked up situation. I've been there, done that. Obviously, she's hoping for the best, that, you know, they're just going to fix him up and be on their way. Now, mind you, this dude's like maybe early 40s, I think, something like that. He's not particularly old or nothing. Well, ultimately, what ended up happening is he ended up dying, right? I'm not real sure if it was a heart attack or blocked arteries or something along that lines, you know? So he passes on, and she gets a call from the company, and the first thing that the company asked her was, did the load get fucking delivered? Yeah, I said that right. They asked if the load got fucking delivered. The guy just died. So there you go with the whole trust issue shit, right? I mean, that's a pretty extreme example, but it happens all the time. And then you got all the little fucking over shit that goes on. But with all that heavy drama, you know, I'll throw in something. This is my thoughts, you know. I always got my thoughts and my opinions on shit. Sometimes I'm kind of right. If you remember when I posted that video, I believe it was damn near 2 years ago, year and a half. I don't know. I probably should have looked. But I was sitting there all nice and comfy in my little cute little brand new apartment, everything. Had me a little glass of rummy and coke going on. Have my day off and just chilling out, right? And I was sitting there making a video for y'all. And I said on there, I said, man, something's going down. Shit's getting weird, man. I don't know what's going on. And I said, if you got a job that you're all right with, you know, or whatever, I'll just keep it. You know, mind you, what did my fucking dumbass do? I quit my job because I'm a fucking dipshit. I don't know why I did that. So I've been pretty much fucked for like I think it's been going on like a year and a half or so now. A lot of fucking around. But, you know, you go and look now, I was right. Something was fucking going down, man. Well, here's my thoughts on this whole deal. Things are looking up, right? Because of a couple different reasons. Well, if you're not familiar with tender rejection, I'll try to make it quick on that. Tender rejection is you got contract freight, you got spot market freight, basically, right? You do have like direct shipment and shit like that. But that's your two basics. Now, contract freight is basically, you know, a customer hires a carrier on a contract to haul their freight. Spot market freight is just pull it off the board and haul it, right? Well, when tender rejection is when like a carrier has contract freight, right? But let's say it's paying $250 a mile, for instance, and all of a sudden the spot market's paying $280 a mile. They'll reject some of the loads so they can put their trucks on the spot market because they'll make more money that way. Now the loads that got rejected will go to the spot market, right? Because they got to get covered. That's kind of a whole nother thing. But anyway, recently, during this whole recession deal or whatever you want to call it, they used to negotiate the contracts like every year, and even up to like every 3 years they would negotiate the contracts. Well, now for a while there, the shippers were wanting to renegotiate like every 3 months. And this is why they were doing that, is because let's say you're hauling it for, you know, $250 a mile, for instance, And in 3 months, the rates have been plummeting, right? I mean, they're pretty gross, right? I mean, we're kind of all hauling cheap freight here. But let's say in 3 months, now they can get a haul for $2.20 a mile, or, you know, even less, unfortunately. So they didn't want to go into year contracts or 3-year contracts. They wanted to be able to just keep fucking renegotiating their contract and getting lower and lower rates. Which, I mean, I guess I can't judge, right? Because they want to save money, they're running a business. But, you know, we're having a little bit of loyalty in this fucking world, man. You know, if I'm a carrier, I did you a straight fucking deal for 10 years, 5 years, whatever it is, hauling your shit. And I wasn't overcharging you too much or whatever, right? And then all of a sudden shit hits the fan, you're sticking it to me, and, you know, whatever happened to a little bit of loyalty. But, you know, fuck that. That ain't around anymore, is it? Well, now the shippers seem to be worried about capacity, about getting their ship hauled, because now they're going back to 1 year, 2 year, 3-year contracts all of a sudden. Now, I don't know shit about shit, but I know one thing. The fucking rich people, you know, the higher powers, there's a reason they're rich. There's a reason they got power, and they have more access to, you know, information and whatnot. So they always kind of foresee shit before everyone else does, before all of us polo motherfuckers do. So something's going on there, right? That we're not seeing. They know something we don't know, because they wouldn't all be doing that. Well, now here's another thing. If you remember a while back, right before I took this job, I was going through the ads up in Grand Rapids because I was trying to find another job, because that lease deal wasn't working out. You know, I mean, I made good money on that lease at first, but then it started to drop off. So I needed to get out of that whole thing. I knew I wasn't staying in it. I was just there to see what kind of money I could make for a little while, right? So I went to looking for jobs in the Grand Rapids area, man, and they were down. I did that video, you know. It was like fucking $70,000 a year, you know, and all this bullshit. And it used to be fucking, I mean, you guys see me all day make 80, 90, even I'm pretty close to a fucking 100, I'm pretty sure. If you don't believe it, go watch my Milk Money video. I put my check stubs up on there. I was making $2,000 to $3,000 every fucking week. And I was running ag exempt. I don't want to do that. I don't want to run that fucking hard. But we all know, like, Walmart and shit will pay you $100,000, right? Sherman-Williams, those private carriers. Well, I go to looking for jobs and I start to freak the fuck out. I'm going like, holy shit, man, this is getting bad. There's like fucking hardly any jobs around, and then the ones that are around ain't paying for shit. And, you know, I'm getting old, and this is kind of what I do now, so I'm like literally getting fucking nervous about this whole deal. So I started doing my research and shit, and I found out, like, you go to like Iowa, Arkansas, etc., North Dakota, certain places are still paying well, and they're still trying to lure you in with sign-on bonuses and newer trucks and, you know, 2,000 watt inverters, you know, all the little shit that they're trying to get there and lure you in with. So I was like, what up with this? So I do the research on it, and basically they just got a lot of freight and not as big of a driver pool in that area, so they're still paying. And then I researched, because I know some people would say, like, well, their cost of living is probably higher, because I'm buying a trailer right now. We'll talk about that later, but I accidentally hit the wrong button and I ended up looking at trailers in California. Holy fuck, dude. Like $250,000 for a fucking trailer. Seriously, Google it. I thought I was fucking retarded. I had to re-look at it again because of the cost of living. Well, that's not the case. I looked at Iowa and Arkansas. Dude, the cost of living in Arkansas is fucking way less than Michigan is. Way less. Michigan's some bullshit. We got some bullshit going on up there. Just our insurance alone, no fault state, is fucking ridiculous. So I was like, well, fuck all this bullshit. I'm going out there. Well, I was reluctant to do that because I do have friends and I got my kids and everything here. But, you know, I ain't gonna fuck around. I'll go wherever I gotta go and make money, you know. I'm not gonna go broke. So I had it all set up. I found a place out there and everything like that. They was gonna pay me a relocation fee, you know, quite a bit. Obviously pay for my motels, my travel expenses, and all that shit. So I was leaving. I quit my job on Friday, and I was leaving to go to Iowa on Tuesday. I just need to go back to my storage unit and grab some more, you know, my nicer clothes, my North Face and Under Armour and shit, because I got the rest of my shit in here pretty much. And I was just gonna have my daughter like ship out my Harley in the spring, or maybe come back and get it or something. And I was leaving on Tuesday. I didn't really want to, and I seen this place here, and I talked to this guy before, and I liked him and all that, but at the time he had older trucks, but he happened to have this 21. So I came over and looked at it, because sometimes, you know, even though it's a newer truck, it can still be fucking trash. But I came and looked at the truck and trailer, and I was like, oh, hell yeah, these will work. So here I am, right? Well, my point, after all that long fucking version of the story, is now, basically me and him got in an argument a couple weeks ago, right? He called me up. That motherfucker called me up. I drive down the fucking road, man. I got my headset on the charger. And you know how it is with these Bluetooths, dude. You pull it off, it takes a little bit to get the shit to fucking boot back onto your phone. He calls me. I'm supposed to be taking this load from Florida out to fucking Kansas, right? And he calls me, and I grab my headset and unplug it, and then he turns around and calls right back. Oh, I hate it when people fucking do that shit, you know? So I get my headset around, and he calls back again, and I'm like, you motherfucker, what the fuck, dude? Give me a minute, you know? So I get my headset booted up, and I call him back, and he goes, you answer your goddamn phone when I call you up, blah, blah, blah. Oh, motherfucker. Like, I don't even remember last time somebody fucking talked to me like that. Who the fuck you talking to? So, of course, I had to go back with that whole shit, and then we argued for a while. Which, all in all, actually worked out pretty good. I think we worked out some issues, you know. Men do shit weird. But ultimately, I got upset, so I was like, fuck this place, man. And there's some other shit I didn't like that was going on. So I started looking for jobs again, right? I'll open up Indeed, Simply Hire, Glassdoor, all that shit. Bada boom, bada bing, man. Motherfucking 65, 68 cents a mile again. Fucking, they're saying 95,000 a year, so they're probably lying. It's probably 85, right? But either way, I was like, look at this shit's fucking going up now, right? So you see what I'm saying? You feel me? Tender rejection, you know, the contract stuff. With the jobs going back up. Now, why would these trucking companies be wanting to hire a bunch of people right now and pay you and all that shit if they didn't foresee that they had some freight coming here in the future, right? So I go to make my delivery this morning because the broker said I got to be there at 8 a.m., right? I get there and there's got a gate because I'm delivering side-by-sides. It's one of those type places, you know, lawnmowers and shit for sale. And there's gates. So I can't fucking get in there. So I had to actually drive quite a ways out and do kind of a shitty U-turn to come back, but there ain't nowhere to park. So I'll pull off over here and whatever this little deal is over here by the pond, right? Which, I will be honest, I can tell that it ain't anywhere you really should be parking a rig, right? But I need to wait for these fuckers to open at 9 o'clock. What am I supposed to do? And we got old Karen here, and Bill came all the way from the other side of the pond over there to mind my business and let me know I can't park here. Just standing here outside my door, looking at me all, give me the evil eye. Unbelievable, man. But I tell you what, I think I could take them. What do you think? They don't look all that tough. This fucking dude I run into a little while ago, right? I go up in here to get some fucking food here at the Loves, right? And this black dude comes up and he starts talking to me, which is cool, you know, I'm a chatty dude. I'll talk to people all day long. We were just talking about loads and this and that and everything. And he was telling me how he had to run empty and this and that. And then he goes, yeah, man, it's fucked. I gotta go back to Mississippi or whatever. I'm out here in Denver right now. And he's like, I fucking gotta drive all the way back to Mississippi and I ain't got no weed because I'd had my last blunt and I lit it up and I went to ash it out the window and the fucker sucked it out the window. Alright, dudes. I get this, right? I don't know if I've said this before. I don't know if people understand this. I've been incarcerated at least 4 times myself, maybe more, for marijuana, for weed, back in the day when it was illegal, right? Now, when I say that, I mean, I'm talking fucking 25 years ago or something, all that went down. I haven't smoked weed in like 8 or 9 hours, you know, so I'm good. But back in the day, I smoked weed, so I can relate to that, man. I've totally fucking done that shit. you know, you light up your joint and fucking suck it out the window or drop it down the console or something like that. And it's like, motherfucker, that sucks, right? And I ain't got no weed for the ride back. And just to be clear, because I know some people are really fucking serious about shit, I ain't smoked weed in like 15 fucking years, man. I get hair tested and all kinds of shit. Otherwise, I would. Fuck yeah, if I wasn't a truck driver, that's my retirement plan, motherfucker. I'm gonna retire from this truck driving. I'm gonna sit on my fucking porch and smoke fucking weed all day long, right? All day long. But here's the thing, man. You're a truck driver, dude. Alright. Smoke weed on the weekends? Alright, cool. I think we should be allowed to. You know, I mean, I can drink a fifth on the weekend and turn into a real idiot. Maybe on your restart? But driving down the road while you're working? Like, what the fuck? That ain't right, dude. To each their own, right? I don't know how the fuck you get past the drug test. I mean, I guess I do, because one of my friends works at a place where they just sweep his drug tests underneath the carpet because the place is a fucking shithole and they need drivers. But what the fuck is wrong with you, dude, that you're gonna walk up to some strange dude and tell him that? And then we were sitting there talking about his load, and he's pointing at his truck. I can see the truck he's driving, what company he works for, and everything. And he's telling me that. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? That's just dumb. You know what I'm saying? That is a dumb person. But we're gonna talk about dumb people later on in the video. I gotta get on with some shit, but I'll be back. So y'all want to hear a quick story before we get off and do some professional trucking this morning here, huh? Well, good, because I'm about to tell you one. So, I've been known, right? I used to be super responsible and married and all that shit, but ever since then I've been known, and maybe a little bit while I was married, I'm not gonna lie. But I've been known to go and have a little bit of fun occasionally out when I'm out here on the road. And there's potential my version of fun ain't the same as your version of fun. But let the judgment begin, because it's YouTube. You're gonna get that no matter what, right? So let me tell you a quick story about Mardi Gras, right? So I've done what? Coachella, Bonnaroo, Burning Man, Mardi Gras, some other festivals, dive bars from the north to the south, the east to the west. You know, have a little bit of fun, meet some people, got all kinds of stories about that. And one of my friends recently told me that I should start telling them on YouTube because they're funny. I guess they are kind of funny in hindsight. Somewhat. But somewhat they're kind of pathetic. But either way, you're going to hear the story. So I wanted to go down to Mardi Gras, right? So I let my dispatcher know like a couple weeks in advance. You know, hook me a load down there. I want to hit Mardi Gras for the weekend. So on and so on. I get down. I got this load. I think it was going out of Texas. Like going across to Florida or something, right? So I get down there, I do my drops and shit down in Texas, I get the other load on, I'm heading across, I'm running late, you know, I'm thinking I'm gonna miss fucking Mardi Gras, what the fuck, man, because you know how trucking is, that shit happens. So I come in, I can't find no motel, man, it's Mardi Gras, definitely one where you park this big old bitch, you know, or one of these. It wasn't this truck, imagine it, this was a while ago. But anyway, I find this place, man. And this lady's like, yada yada yada, yeah, we got the room. I'm like, got truck parking? She's like, there's an alley in the back. And I'm like, alright. And we're like right down in there, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? So I come rolling in there, back my truck down this little tiny ass alley, park it, grab my decent clothes, run into the motel. Don't pay that much attention, but she wasn't nice, I'll tell you that. It wasn't a nice motel. Get showered up, get some decent clothes on, call the Uber up, head down to Mardi Gras, right? Yeah, if you've never been to Mardi Gras, yeah, go check it out, but it ain't all that great, man. It's kind of gross, man. People are fucking pissing all over the streets, and everybody's drunk, and like that many people together, and the heat and the stench, and then people are like doing sex stuff off in the alleys and shit, you know what I'm saying? Titties are popping out. That part sounds fun, right? They even like, you know how they got all the people up on the balconies? You know, some of those people reserve those rooms or whatever like years in advance to be able to get one of them. But they put grease on the poles so that the fucking dudes won't be climbing up there trying to touch the titties, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? And I've seen some wieners too, man. People be whipping out their wieners and shit. I don't know about it. I'm not going back again, but go check it out sometime. So I need to go back to the motel, right? I'm on the app, nobody, you know, calling cabs, everything, man. Nobody, fucking no Ubers anywhere. I finally get this Uber. Hop in there, I'm like, what up, bro, man? I'm so glad I got a ride, you know, and all this shit. And he's like, where you going? I'm like, I'm going, fuck. I don't know. Where the fuck am I going? He's like, what do you mean? Oops. I was like, fuck, I parked my truck at a fucking motel, dude, and I don't remember where the fuck that motel's at. So thank God, this fella knew his area because I explained what the motel looked like and the shit that was around it, and he was like, I know where you're at, bro, I got you. And he got me back to the motel, man. Because stop and think about that for a second, dude. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I gotta call my dispatcher up and be like, yo, dude, can you go on the tracker and tell me where the truck's at? Because I'm fucking drunk and I done lost it. It's over there somewhere. You know what's funny? A lot of shit's funny, but oh, Swift parked next to me, boy. Don't even make Swift jokes. That's bullshit. But anyway, you know what's funny is every time you get around these local drivers, they automatically assume that us OTR guys should or want to go be local or something. They're always like, why don't you just go do local? You guys are getting fucked. You ever stop and think that we're OTR drivers and we like being OTR drivers? No, that's the dude right there. He's trying to tell that guy, that's bullshit, man. You ought to just go be local. Trying to tell me to go be local. I'm OTR, motherfucker. You're local. Everyone be talking about locals like this fucking great gig, you know what I mean? Yeah, if you got a wife and kids, sure, right? But, or a husband and kids. I keep forgetting y'all ladies are out here on the road. You ought to be getting your ass back in the kitchen where you belong. Oh boy. We're gonna have some people take that one seriously. But anyway, you know, look into the local jobs, dude. They ain't all that fucking great. OTR, if you don't mind being out on the road, I know I've said this 100 times. If you don't mind being out on the road, that's the whole thing. If you don't, did I just say it? Being out on the road, you don't mind it. Then OTR is way fucking easier, dude. You get way more time off. You get way more chill shit. You ain't doing 900 deliveries. I think I've already said all this before. All the way down the hallway, that guy's like, I don't know why you guys tolerate all that bullshit. Y'all just go be local. I work over here at this place. And I'm making $7 an hour and I work $16 a day. So I was having some issues with my speedometer on this here 2021 Freightliner Cascadia. Come on. And I'm going to make a video on what I did. I'll make an actual video on it because I see there ain't a lot of information on it on the interweb. And I had to kind of figure it out on my own. And I hate doing that because I like just Googling shit and having people tell me what to do. You know, it's much easier. Gotta love the internet, man. So what was going down was I'd be driving down the road, right? And the speedometer would just start jumping all over the place. And then if it got up to like 80, 100 mile an hour or shit like that, then the governor would kick in. So the truck would fucking die out. And if it held there, man, there was a few times it died right out where I got down to like 40 mile an hour, my flashers on and shit before it kicked back in. So it was becoming a fucking problem. Now, when I first got this truck, the first week I had it, it did that. But then it just stopped doing it. So I was alright with it. But it just got worse and worse. And then the logbook wasn't reading no more. Like, I'd take off driving, and then the fucking logbook would just cut out like midway, and it was messing my logbook all up and all that nonsense. So I'm thinking, shit, now we gotta get this damn thing fixed somewhere. That's a bitch nowadays, you know, like trying to get into Freightliner and all that, and then who wants to stop trucking and go sit around repair facilities and all that nonsense. So I decided that I'm gonna figure this shit out. So down on the back of your trainee, right, good luck getting underneath one of these fucking Cascadias unless you're like this thin, you know. On the back of your trainee where the yoke comes out for the drive shaft, there's a collar, right, and then there's a sensor right in the top. like a 2 or a 4 wire sensor with a couple plugs there. That's what it was, man. I got down underneath there and I got to looking at it, and the gap was too far. And basically all that's going on is that shaft spinning and that sensor's reading it, and it's telling it, you know, the speed and all that bullshit, right? So I ended up just taking my pilot rewards card and sticking it in there and adjusting the sensor down and then pulling my card out. Voila! The fucker is fixed, my friends, and I'm very happy about that because, you know, yeah, I'm tired of getting shit fixed, you know. So like everywhere I go, the damn trucks are all breaking down nowadays with all the bullshit way that they build them. They're all cheap and chintzy, you know. Remember when you used to be able to run them for like 1,000,000 miles? Not so much anymore, right? So as I was working on that, I got to thinking about something. Well, this here is a manual, right? You wouldn't be able to do this in an automatic. And you know, on that whole manual thing, I think for us who are driving manuals, we should get like an extra penny a mile or some shit, because stop and think about it, man. So many people don't have their manual endorsement. They don't know how to drive a damn manual. We have a skill other people don't have. If you want your manual driven, you should pay us extra. Just saying. Just saying. But I got to thinking about it. You know how when your DEF system fucks up, because we've, you know, most of us had that happen, and then the fucker derates and you're down to like 25 mile an hour or whatever, and then you're fucking driving down the shoulder or some shit with your flashers on trying to get to a place to get it fixed. Correct? And it sucks. Well, I got thinking about that. I bet you on these manuals, you couldn't do this in an automatic, because on an automatic, you need that speed sensor in there to read your speed so the transmission knows when to shift. But on one of these manuals, you can get underneath there and pull that sensor out, and I'm pretty sure it wouldn't derate, because how the fuck, how would it know how fast it was going? I'm pretty sure you'd be able to just drive it wide open. Just a thought. I bet that's true. And then I had this other weird one. I don't know how well this one would work. Obviously you could, you know, cheat on your logbook. You never see anything on the internet like how to beat a ELD logbook. There has to be a way, man. I mean, people hack into the government fucking websites and shit. There has to be a way. But you don't see too much on that. Well, I think I got a way. I'm not 100% sure on this. I'm just throwing it out there. Let me know what y'all think about it. I was thinking, if you cut into the ground wire on that sensor, right, and you ran a wire from there up to a toggle switch on your dashboard and then back down to complete the circuit, right? So it's toggle switch on, everything would be running just like normal. So here's how you do it. Like, you wouldn't want to just take off from somewhere. Let's say you're in Jacksonville, Florida, and you're going to Tampa, right? I'm just using this as an example. I don't know how far that is, but you wouldn't want to just do a pre-trip and then have it off and leave Jacksonville, you know, because then if you end up in Tampa or whatever, the DOT looks at it and goes, what the fuck, how the fuck did you get from Jacksonville to Tampa? But you do your pre-trip, right? You leave it like normal, you drive for like a half hour, shut that fucker off for like 5 minutes, drive, you know, turn it back on, drive for like 40 minutes, shut it off for like 10 minutes. You know, just keep doing that in little increments, because your logbook is just going from, you know, Jacksonville to Tampa pretty much. Some of the logbooks do it intermediate for the towns, but it's not like hitting every little town and city that you went through. Otherwise you know, you had 50, 100 towns or whatever by the time you got there. So they wouldn't really notice, right? Because they would just see you left Jacksonville, you went to Tampa, that's what it shows. Now, if it was a local cop or something, you know, he might look at it and be like, how the fuck did you get there that fast? You know, but what are the odds of that, right? Now, I will say, if you was going to do that, you wouldn't want to, like, get in a fatal accident and end up in front of a jury or some shit, because I'm pretty sure they'll find it then, because they'll really audit it. But if you just did that in little increments, when you went into the scale, they just run for errors in there through the program. They wouldn't see that shit. And you wouldn't, I know you're thinking you wouldn't gain much, right? But let's just say you gained, just say an hour a day, right? And then at the end of the week, that's 6 hours. Roughly $30 an hour when you're rolling, right? For the most time. That's like $180 a week, say between $100-$180 a week or something like that, just cheating out 1 hour a day. Now do it by the month, right? What's that? You know, $500-$600, whatever it is per month. Money's money, man. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I wouldn't do it in this truck because homeboy I work for would see it. He would see it on his end, and he wouldn't like it. He's trying to run all clean and shit. But if I was owner operator, I might consider doing that. It might be not a bad idea. So there you go. That might be a way to cheat on the ELDs. Let me know what you think about that. So it's pretty funny just a minute ago because I was sitting there on my phone like that too, and you can see all the way down the line there, you know, we're all just sitting there like truckers do, just with our faces buried in our phone, right? And this lady gets out of this rig over here. She's riding with some dude. She got these tight ass leather pants on, boy, some flowing blonde hair. And you know where my eyes went. I was like, oh, look at that, yum yum. And I mean, with all respect, I was looking at her that way, of course, with all respect. But then I caught myself, you know, gawking, and I looked to the right, and I looked to the left. Nobody was looking at their phone no more. We was all watching her walk across the parking lot. Get back in the truck, lady. You ain't safe here. Bunch of lonely ass truck drivers out here. So let's talk about these foreign drivers, man. I'll be the one that says it, right? Let's just talk about these foreign drivers for a minute, right? What's going on with this whole fucking fiasco? We all getting tired of it yet? Because I'm getting tired of it, right? And before I go into my rant on it, you know, I'm just saying, like, I respect, like, people who come from foreign countries. It's a sacrifice, man. You come over here, you know, to help support your family or better your family and all that nonsense, right? I get it. My grandparents weren't born in the United States. I get it. I'm not anti-immigration. I'm not fucking a Trumpy. I don't even vote. I don't give a fuck, right? But as far as what I got to deal with out here on the road, I do give a fuck. It's fucking annoying and it pisses me off, right? First of all, we got the whole situation with the whole overcapacity issue right now and the rates and all that shit. Well, maybe if we didn't have so many extra foreign drivers over here, we wouldn't be overcapacity, correct? I personally think it's a conspiracy. I think that the higher powers, being the government and the rich motherfuckers, brung them over here on purpose so that they could drive our wages down and they wouldn't have to pay so much for their bullshit because the rich got fucked up ways of doing shit, right? That's why we're the ones that pay taxes. All of us fucking poor people pay our taxes, but all the rich motherfuckers don't pay their taxes hardly, right? Enough said on that one, huh? Maybe that would kind of clear the capacity out a little bit. And, you know, if a foreign driver is going to come over here, the whole idea is to come over here and make the money that we make and not to come over here and like drive our wages down so that none of us are making any money. And if you like the United States because the United States is a better place, then to come over here and be the way it is in the United States, not bring all your trash and all your fucking garbage and, you know, shitting out a hole on the floor and throwing fucking dookie bags in the parking lot. Don't get me wrong, I've said it before, you know, sometimes you gotta shit in a trash bag. I get it. I understand a lot of this, believe it or not. But you can take the goddamn trash bag over and put it in the fucking garbage can and not throw it out in the parking lot so when I run it over, it's stuck to my fucking tire, because it happens, you know. Some pretty savage shit going on with these motherfuckers, and it ain't all of them, right? It's like they drive like shit, right? But some of them don't. Some of them I watch drive in and they're fucking drive better than I do. They're like one shot, bada boom, bada bing, you know? So I'm just saying, some. You can't paint a broad brush on any race, culture, anything, right? But what the fuck with the whole thing, right? I mean, I'll give you an example. The government, you know, said, oh, we're short drivers, we're going to run out of drivers because the younger generation ain't driving and the baby boomers are retiring, and all that shit was real. It was real. It was going down. We definitely need some foreign drivers over here. But the government always fucks up and goes over too far on everything that they fuck with. They need to not touch so much shit. They like, it wasn't really the plan when the United States was made that the government controls everything as much as they fucking do, you know? But that's the whole thing. Let me give you this little example. When I lived up north, way out in the forest, you know, So there were some problems going on with the crops, right? You would get these insects that would kill the crops and shit, right? So they deemed that they needed more ladybugs because we were short on ladybugs. I know it sounds stupid, but it's a real thing. Google it, motherfucker. So, so the ladybugs, I guess, they kill these microscopic insects that kill the crops. So they flew over and they dropped all these ladybugs to correct the situation. Well, what happened is they fucked up and they dropped too many ladybugs. So what was happening in our houses, man, like you could go in the windowsill and I mean it'd just be fucking full. Like my wife and I, we had to go through with the vacuum cleaner and just suck fucking ladybugs out every couple days. But then what became a real problem, for some reason ladybugs are attracted to like electrical plug boxes and breaker boxes. There must be some sort of electromagnetic something in there that they like or some shit. I don't know, I'm not a fucking scientist, right? Well, at my house, my fucking breaker box caught on fire one day because so many ladybugs got in there and packed that fucker. It ended up shorting out. It wasn't a huge fire. It was just enough to burn all the ladybugs and scare the living hell out of my wife and kids. And they had to call the fire department out and they had to rip the breaker box out and figure out that the ladybugs started to fire. Now, the fire department was like, we're seeing this all the time lately. So there you go. You get my point on that. Over fucking doing shit, right? I gotta slouch. My camera's like slowly falling off the fucking mount there, you know. My bad. But it's pretty fucking ridiculous, man. I mean, there's just a bunch of stupid shit going on out here with it. I know I'm not the only one that's fucking fed up with it. Oh, this whole deal. So I go in this place the other day. I walk in and I hear no more than walk in and I hear these two guys talking to this foreign guy and I hear you can take your non-English speaking motherfucking ass and get the fuck out of here. And this was down in Alabama. You know, they don't fuck around down in Alabama a whole lot. You feel me? So I was like, God damn, I just walked into some shit. I don't know what's going on here, but whatever, right? So what ended up happening is the guy came in to check in on his load, speaks no fucking English, had no way of checking in. And he was backed into the dock. It's a busy place. You know, we were trying to run trucks through there. So they can't communicate with him. How the fuck they supposed to know what load he's getting, what his pickup number is, his destination, anything, because motherfucker don't speak goddamn English, right? Now how in the fuck you getting your goddamn CDL, taking your test in another fucking language and getting your CDL, and then coming over here when the signs and everything are all in fucking English, and then half of them, I don't know if it's really half, but a bunch of them, they ain't even got no truck driving experience, man. Their fucking employers forge the goddamn paperwork. Bring them in through Canada and shit, right? We all know this. Come on. Go watch some of the videos. Fucking horse shit. There was a whole bunch of lost their CDLs because the government was so crooked, you know, and the state government was just fucking giving out CDLs and they got caught. Go Google that shit. So that the goddamn crooked person at the CDL office or whatever could make a little kickback money from the trucking companies. Imagine that going on in the United States, right? So anyway, that dude would not move off the dock. He was like, no, you know, blah, 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 giving him a bunch of bullshit. So they went and got a couple more guys, and I think they was about ready to physically throw his fucking ass out of there. It was about to go down because he was blocking the whole shit up. So they ultimately kicked him out, and he, you know, no load for him there. They kicked him right the fuck out of there, you know. So I watched that go down, and just literally right after all that goes down, so what was going on was there was like a dock here, right? And then the driveway comes in this way, and you just line trucks down the driveway, and there's one in the dock, and as soon as he pulls out, he leaves, the next one swings around, goes in, and you just keep doing that. And they were busy. You know, they load you in like 10 fucking minutes, and you're out of there, you know? So that... we're all waiting there in line. There's like 5 trucks lined up, one sitting at the dock. Here comes some Chinaman. Just right on down to the left of all the trucks, parked right in the middle of the parking lot. Now nothing can happen until this guy can fucking get his truck out of there. So obviously, I mean, I kind of felt bad for him a little bit because he goes up there not speaking English and these guys already had enough. So they treated him like complete shit. Well, now this motherfucker needs to back out to the end of the driveway, right? He can't back straight up, man. It was straight up. No turns, no nothing. All you had to do is back straight out. He'd back up a little bit. Holly golly, fucking phone fell right down, son. Sorry about that. Anyway, he back like up a little bit, and then he get it kinked off, and you have to pull forward and back up and kink off. It's taking forever. To back straight the fuck up. You need to not be driving a goddamn truck if you can't back straight up. How the fuck are you even doing it? Like, what the fuck? Get the fuck out of here, dude. Get the fuck out of here so the rest of us can get some better rates and shit, man. What a bunch of fucking bullshit, huh? And it just goes around and around with all this shit. Because, like, here's what goes on. Let me give you this example, man. I had to make this delivery at this college in New York. If you ever been off on the streets in New York, they're fucking narrow, man. You can't hardly fit a truck down there and all this shit. I'll pull up there. I can't back in from my driver's side because, you know, you always approach on your driver's side so you don't have to blindside, but it needed to be blindside back. So I got to go turn the truck around somewhere. This is a fucking shit show. I was actually kind of pissed. I go down through all these residential streets, and I mean, just to turn the corners, I had to jump the sidewalk with my steer tires. It was so tight down there. So I drive, you know, because where the fuck do you turn one of these big cocksuckers around at, you know? And I finally find this fucking intersection where I can do a absolutely shitty fucking U-turn, right? And I start my absolutely shitty U-turn. Well, on a sleeper truck, man, when you're trying to look on an angle to see the traffic, if you ain't correctly, you're looking over here, you know, so you can't see. That's what I'm saying. You can't see to the right if you're on the wrong angle. So I can't see the fucking traffic coming. This ain't an automatic where I can just stick it in gear and stand up and, like, look. You know, my leg ain't that long to reach the clutch. So I'm having some fucking issues, man, getting this thing turned around. Well, these two fellas pulled up in their pickup trucks and turned on their flashers, and they blocked the fucking road for me, right? So I could get around. Pretty cool. That shit used to happen all the time, man. People respected truckers, man. You pull up to the corner, you gotta make a right-hand turn, they'd back up, or they'd pull over out of the way, you know, to let you through, or stop back, or whatever. No, now they're cutting up to the right. Like, even on the way out, you know, I'd have to take all the lanes to get out of there. There's fucking cars just driving right up the right side of me and shit. They don't give a fuck. Well, part of that is because people are just assholes and stupid these days. But some of it's they just completely lost respect for drivers, because these foreign drivers, man, is stopping in the middle of the road and just doing all this dumb shit, driving 2 miles an hour. So they're sick of truck drivers, and they don't care, you know? That's how a lot of that's going. Now, I do think that that's going to change, as well as what I was saying with the other stuff. Is because if you look at the lawsuits now, like, just look at the billboards when you're driving down the road. It says, like, truck wreck, you know, $40 million, blah, 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 everywhere. Truck wreck, which is kind of gross. Lawyers are kind of fucking gross, but until you need one, if you get a good one, right? But, you got all those. You got, like, the Werner fucking lawsuits, 40 million here, 50 million there, 60 million there. I mean, these fucking lawsuits are huge, right? And then you got the insurance companies now are up in shit. New Jersey just went up to 1.5 million or something like that. You gotta have in fucking insurance from 700,000. So that fucks with the rates that the trucking companies got to pay and all that nonsense. Well, why are all insurance rates going up? It's the same as the hurricanes hitting Florida, and the insurance companies in Florida are going, no, we can't fucking be insuring all you people, and, you know, all this shit. So the insurance companies are going, no, we can't afford this because we're not making any money. We got to keep paying $40 million out of these people and those people, right? Well, why are we doing that? It's because we're hiring fucking inexperienced fucking shitty drivers. We can just put anybody in a truck. We can just hire foreigners. Well, then they're crashing like a motherfucker. You know what I mean? So, there you go. Wouldn't you be better off just paying the more experienced drivers? Because, like I said before, there's not a driver shortage. There's a pay shortage. Some of it's lifestyle. But I have a shit ton of friends who have CDLs, haven't used them forever. Like I always say, my ex-girlfriend's a dental assistant. She has a CDL. She don't use it no more. They don't want nothing to do with this job. But if you paid them, you know, like some of my friends only make like $65,000 working in the factory or whatever, right? So yeah, they'd want more money if they could get it, but they ain't gonna deal with all this bullshit out here, you know. Now, if it was $110,000, they might be like, I don't know, maybe I'll go use my CDL and go back to being a truck driver, right? You gotta lure them in with some shit, and then they don't do all the accidents and stuff, and it all bounces the fuck out. Imagine it. I think it's gonna happen. You know, you're already looking at the ads now. See, when I first started driving truck, you know, you'd see an ad, it said 2, 3 years, 5 years, some of them experience, which was a problem for me when I first got into this industry. Now, they're like, will train, SAP program okay, felons welcome. You know, it's pretty fucking sad. You know, it is. Yeah, I don't know about it. I mean, just to give you an example, I had to run into St. Louis. I had a real bad ice storm in St. Louis. So I'm coming across 64. And, I mean, this thing was bad. They shut the whole city down. Like, I couldn't even deliver my load because the people didn't even make it to work. My dude worked some magic, actually, and got it. We could drop it at another trucking company, and then they delivered it. So that was cool. I didn't have to sit there. But coming across 64 was pretty fucked up, man. It was sheet ice all across there. So I was doing about 35 mile an hour all the way across. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. I'm only doing 35. How the fuck can you crash truck at 35 mile an hour? It'd be pretty hard, right? But it was a long fucking ride, you know. And I'm just one of those people, I just roll. You know what I'm saying? I just go. I gotta make money. Well, here's my point, man. I seen 7 trucks crashed going across there. Every fucking one of them was foreign drivers. Every one of those trucks crashed. Because you can see the drivers. They're right there sitting in the truck or they're outside the truck. Because when you got that many accidents, you ain't getting a record probably that whole fucking day, you know. So they're driving too fast, dude. I had a bunch of them, like, you know, the Volvo Mafia, you know, fucking passing me, dude. I know a little bit about a little bit. I've been out here. I've run the mountains, tire chains. I'm from fucking Michigan. You know, it snows in Michigan sometimes, right? You know, like pretty much all the fucking time. And I know a little bit about a little bit. I maybe could have went a little bit faster, but I was keeping it safe. But I mean, they were fucking blowing right by me. And I'm like thinking, you guys are fucking dumb. Do you even know what you're driving on, you stupid fucking piece of shit motherfuckers? That's what I feel about that. I'm getting pretty pissed. Other people are too. I've been seeing a little bit of airlines getting cut and shit out here in the fucking truck stops. I'm not necessarily saying I agree with that. It is pretty funny. You park on the fucking end and no one can get out, and then we got to get out of our trucks and go wake your ass up so that we can leave in the morning. I think a few of these drivers are leaving you a little gift. It's called a bunch of cut fucking airlines. It's been happening, man. I've been seeing it. And while I'm off on that rant, I want to tell you a couple other little things. This is just the shit I ran into like in the last week and a half, right? So one, I pull into this truck stop, like a mom and pop truck stop. It's pretty big. There's a lot of parking. You know how truck stops get, man. And that shit'll, you park anywhere and everywhere, and I'm 100% agree that is what we need to do. And I think it's kind of amazing and cool sometimes how we can work these trucks in there and fit them all in until you do the dumb shit, like I was saying, where you just park on the end and no one can fucking get in or out. You know, that's just too much. Well, there was still plenty of room, and along the back we were lining up, so there's about 20 of us lined up, and there was room for like 20 more the other way. It wasn't gonna block nothing. There was no lines or nothing because it was a mom and pop truck stop. This foreign dude backs in next to me, and he comes over to my door. First of all, I hate that. I fucking hate it when, you know, if you don't know, truck drivers don't like it when you come to their truck. They don't like it. You know, don't come begging, don't come talking, don't nothing. If they're outside the truck, they might talk to you, but nobody likes to be bothered, man. So he comes over and he's like, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you even talking about, motherfucker. Anyhow, he's asking me if he's gonna get a ticket. I was like, get a ticket? What are you talking about? He's like, yeah, Virginia got a ticket the other day. I was like, where? He's like, off ramp. Well, yeah. You park on a fucking on ramp, off ramp in Virginia or Arkansas, you're probably gonna get a fucking ticket, dude. This here is private property. This is a truck stop, dude. What the fuck would they give you a ticket for? And you're parked next to me, and by the time you wake up, there's gonna be 20 more. They're like, how fucking stupid are you, dude? I mean, come on. That's fucking dumb. So then I run into another guy, right? He comes up to me because I guess being that I'm an older white fellow with gray hair and all that shit, I look like I must be the trucking guru, right? So he could, because I get that a lot, people coming up and asking me, and I really like helping people out. I actually do. That's why I make the videos, but only if it's stuff that's reasonably, you know, like you don't understand it for a good reason. He comes up to me He doesn't know how to scale his truck out. He doesn't know how to axle his truck out. He's got a CDL. He was driving a better truck than me. He's driving a truck. He does not know how to axle his truck out. How the fuck does that happen? Come on, man. That needs to be taught, you know. I see this other dude, foreigner, driving down the road with a trailer tire flat, broke off the bead, you know. I understand, man, if it's just soft, yeah, you keep running, you get to the next Loves or whatever, and you get it fixed. Man, you don't run them motherfuckers when the beads are broke off like that. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with people. I know your dispatchers and shit will try to get you to do it to save money. But pay attention when you're driving down the road. You ever see like the tire over up against the fence, the one way out in the cornfield, the one over here or whatever? What do you think? Someone just came along and like rolled their tire out there? No, they flew off the trailer, man. They will fly right the fuck off the trailer. That's bullshit, man. You want that shit going through the windshield of your family's car and fucking up your wife and kids or your mother or something? You don't do it. You fucking pull over and you tell your dispatcher to kiss your ass and they send out road service for that shit. It's fucking ridiculous, you know? Oh, the flashers in the rain thing. That ain't even a foreign thing. I see this a lot of rookie drivers doing that. It's fucking raining. Okay, man. I 100% agree that you drive at what speed you're safe. Like, I'm from Michigan, dude. Like, when it's snowing up there, yo, I'm that asshole. Alright, when you're driving and you're trying to focus like a fucker because it's snowing and you got two little tracks to drive on and all of a sudden a truck blows past you and woof, you can't see a goddamn thing because the fucking snow just all blew up. I'm sorry, but I gotta go. You know what I mean? We do 60 mile an hour on the fucking ice up there all day long. It just snows there for all the time. We can't just putt around. So if you're doing 30, man, I got to go, dude. I ain't gonna do 30. But I agree with you drive at what speed you're comfortable at driving. So if you want to drive 40 miles an hour in the rain, which is fucking ridiculous because it's just fucking rain, that's fine. But turn your fucking flashers off. Like, what the fuck? What are you letting everyone know it's raining? Flashers are for when you're like broke down on the side of the road or some sort of emergency situation. Not to drive your little faggot ass down the road at 40 mile an hour because you're scared to drive in the rain. And let's just say it, my friends, because you know whose channel you're watching. If you can't drive your goddamn truck in the rain, get that door handle down there, grab it, and get the fuck out of this truck, and don't ever fucking come back, because you ain't no goddamn truck driver. You ain't got no fucking business up in one of these bitches. Do I say it straight or what? Come on. How about driving with your motherfucking bright lights on at night? Because you can't see very good? Oh, I understand, man. Turn your bright lights on, you can see a lot better, right? It's a good idea. If you're out on a fucking country road or something. If you're just going down the highway, what are you doing? You're blinding the rest of us, you fucking dingleberry. That's pretty much a foreigner thing. You know, just all day, just got my bright lights on because can't see. Well, what about everyone else? Fucking stupid fuck. But you know, I was thinking earlier, right? Because I'm always thinking, you know, just driving and thinking about all my crazy shit that goes on in my crazy fucking head, you know, and you guys love it, don't you? Like, you sit there and like, this is what this fucking dumb fucker's got to say today. So, you know that company Tribe, right? I think this guy, Trucks Josh, used to work over there, as a matter of fact. I don't know anything about Tribe. I don't know if they're good or bad or nothing like that. But you ever look at their trailers, it says Tribe, a Native American woman-owned company. All right, let's say I have a trucking company. Let's say the name of my trucking company is Duke E. Pyle Trucking Company, right? And I put Duke E. Pyle Logistics, a white man-owned company. Do you think that would fly? You guys up for another story? Good, because I'm going to tell you another story real quick. Because I was advised to start telling some of my goofy stories, right? So I was up in the Rite Aid the other day and I ran into this lady, right? And it made me remember some shit. So after I got divorced, you know, because I was married for 900 years and, you know, all that stuff, right? I got me like this little somewhat luxury apartment on the beach there in Lake Michigan. And I made some young friends and I partied like a fucking rock star, basically, is what I did. And a lot of times when we get out of the bar during the day or whatnot, or during the evenings, we would run over to the beach. And we take our vehicles back, you know, on the beach and have a bonfire and shit, which is illegal as fuck, but it was fun and we did it. Anyway, one day we were sitting back there, and all these people were like younger people. I was like the odd man out, you know, the weird old dude that hangs out with all the young people, right? And we were sitting there having some drinks and shit, and they had some of them mushrooms, you know, some of them magic mushrooms, you feel me? Now myself, I ain't fucked with those in a long time, and I wouldn't even right now because I'm too old to be tripping, you know. But they was chowing down on them, and there was this young lady there, and she ate some of them, and then she said she wasn't feeling anything, so she ate some more. It's a mistake. And I told her, I was like, you know, you might want to simmer on them for a minute there, young lady, you know, and like just kind of let it kick in. And she's like, okay, whatever, Grandpa. I said, whatever, man. You might want to listen to your elders, but do what you want to do. So she just kept on chowing down. Well, next thing you know, she's tripping balls, son. So she thinks she's all hot, you know, like warm. Like temperature-wise, she was pretty hot. I will say that. So she starts taking off all of her clothes and shit. Now, I didn't look. I accidentally looked a little bit, but, you know, I have respect for women, so you know, I didn't stare or anything, but, you know, shit happens, right? And then she starts freaking out, and she looks at her boyfriend. She's like, I gotta go home. I gotta take a shower. And we're all laughing. He looks at her. He's like, no, honey, you're fine. You're just fucking tripping balls. And she's like, no, I'm so dirty. I'm filthy. And he's like, just get in the lake and wash up, you know? So she's out in the lake fucking like trying to scrub herself and all this shit. She comes walking back up to the fire. And I was like, oh shit, here comes Clean Kelly, you know? And I was fucking with her like, maybe you would have wanted to listen to me a little bit, huh? Well, I run into her at the Rite Aid. She's, you know, pretty much she was younger then. She's pretty much a grown woman now. She's all married, got children and all this shit. And she come over, she's like, we're talking, she's like, motherfuckers still call me Clean Kelly because of that bullshit you said. Who comes to work at 9 o'clock in the morning, man? What world do you fucking live in? Come on. Damn, I got shit to do. I got deliveries to make. Like this fella here, right? People need the dang mattresses. You can't be going without a mattress. So anyway, yeah, we're just sitting here waiting, man. I got here at 8 o'clock. I guess apparently these motherfuckers don't come to work till 9. I gotta get one of them jobs one of these days. Getting some shit handled here this evening, my friends. Had to go in and get a PM, get an oil change, you know what I mean? At the old Loves, right? A lot of people talk shit on these Loves mechanics. And, you know, sometimes it's for a good reason. But this young fella, it is actually probably like 25, but he is going to be our future of mechanics, my friends. He knew his shit. You know, for the level of where he's at in life as being a mechanic, I told him, I said, dude, I can tell by talking to you because he let me kind of hang out with him and we talked a bunch of shit. I said, you ain't going to be working at Love's very long, my friend. You know, like, you definitely got some mechanical skills and interest and all that stuff. But he helped me out with a few things because I thought, you know, back in the day there used to be these fuel filters in the tanks and I was losing power. So I kept thinking, man, I got to change that filter in the tank. And I was just going to do it myself. I was going to just have the boss man pay for the filter and just do it myself real quick, because a lot of times with that shit, like when I had the batteries done on this, I should have just did those myself, because I ended up sitting at TA for like 3 fucking hours, dude. It took me like honestly, it probably would have took an hour to do it out in the parking lot, but it would have been better to do the work than to sit there for 3 hours, right? I know some people are like, why would you work on somebody else's truck? Sometimes it's just fucking easier, man. But anyway, I was looking all over for that filter, and the youngster was like, they don't put them on there no more, dude. And I was kind of not believing him. But as we talked, his dad's a mechanic, and his dad's older than me, and he was talking about blink codes and shit. And I was like, this dude kind of knows a little bit about a little bit, you know. I can tell that because that's an old school thing. Let me tell you about blink codes. You see, back when I was a wrench, we didn't have laptops that we hooked up and it told us, you know, where to go and do shit. So when we wanted to diagnose a truck, there was a little red light up there on the firewall, and what you had to do, it was kind of like Morse code, man. Like, it would blink once, and then 4 times fast, and then 2 times slow, and then 3 times fast, and you had to write it down what it was doing, and then you went to your book and you opened up your book and you matched the blink codes to whatever it was in the book, and then it told you it was the fucking Gertnator valve or whatever, which actually worked pretty good versus just like swapping parts all day long. It helped you find shit. Obviously this new technology is much better, and no, I am not that far behind. I know how to use a laptop on a truck. You know, we did get all that eventually. We got it. I'm just saying when I first started. Right, the only thing I don't know about is the def at this point. So anyhow, once he was talking about all that nonsense, I was like, all right, I kind of trust this kid. And I was like, well, what's the deal with this? And he showed me this spot on the bottom of the filter housing. Now this has a Detroit in it. I'm sure they're all different, but it's going to be the housing that's got the primer pump on it. Oh, a lot of you are going, what's a primer pump? I probably ought to do a video on that in case you run out of fuel, right? So anyway, there's a little hex down there on the bottom that you can turn, and you can drain the water out of the system. And it was pretty amazing, man, because that shit came out clear for quite a while before it went green. There was quite a bit of water in there. And this truck is running much fucking better now, man. It is like way, way better. So props to the kid, you know, and for all y'all that think you want to own your own truck and everything, you know, that oil change was $500 for that fucking PM. You know, just so you know, because a lot of people, they come out and they truck for like 6 months and then they're like, oh, I'm gonna buy me a truck. Yeah, you go price tires and oil changes and all that good shit, you know, before you think it's that simple, and then compare it to what the rates pay, right? But he was a cool kid, man. It was nice to deal with him. Hell, he even helped me out, helped the old man out, because I got a tablet, and I didn't know how to tether my phone to my fucking tablet, and I didn't want to pay extra on my phone bill, so he showed me how to do it. So there's a big sign right over there in the driveway, right, that says back up against the wall down there, and there's an arrow and all that shit, right, that says, hey truckers, park here or we're not gonna fucking check you in. Homeboy didn't get it. I don't think Hector got it, but I tried to tell him, dude, when he got out of his truck, because I was trying to be a nice trucker, and I was like, hey bro, you need to park down there on the wall or they're gonna send you back out to move your truck, right? Because I've been sitting here a minute watching that happen. No English, no English, and I don't speak Spanish, so chupa la pinga, maricon. Oh boy, we had us another one of them little COVID pussies up in here, man. A little youngster hiding behind the glass. Don't get near me, I might get the bid. Fucking toughen up, man. What the fuck, dude? I went all the way through COVID. I was out here running like a motherfucker during COVID. I never got it. You be alright. You be alright, man. Come on, toughen up a little bit. Little COVID motherfucker anyway, right? Anyway, the fucking, what up with the lumper fees? Holy shit, dude. $300-400 fucking dollars and shit more to get your shit lumped. That last one was like $350 or some shit. All that needed to be done with it is put it on pallets. They put it in the trailer, not palletized, which makes no fucking sense, right? Are you worried about saving the money on the pallets? Is that what it is? Because it can't be because you were worried about having like critters or you know, anything like that, because you can get treated pallets for that. So they charge $350 just to palletize that fucking shit, dude. That's ridiculous. It didn't take very long because I was only at the dock for 2 hours, and you know they weren't working on it for 2 fucking hours. I don't understand it, man. I just don't understand this world. Like, why the brokers and the carriers just say fuck it and don't haul those loads. I mean, right now it would be kind of hard, I guess, with the rates being low and everyone trying to survive. But when things are normal, like, what happens if you just don't fucking haul them? Then they can't fucking ship them and they got to get their head out of their ass. Kind of like the detention time we used to have all the time. Because believe it or not, my friends, we are not sitting around nowhere near how we used to back in the day, because they had to start getting this more efficient. Because people stopped hauling their shit, you know. Because for a while there, we had the shippers by the balls because they didn't have enough trucks. So they had to change their ways, change their evil ways. But it's some nonsense, man, I'll tell you that. I'm off on that whiny bitchy rant of mine that I go into that you guys like because you fucking know you deal with the same shit. And sometimes it's just good to hear someone else say it so you don't think you're crazy. You're like, oh man, that pisses him off too, right? These slimy fucking brokers, man. Ugh. Yuck, right? Sometimes you get a dumbass dispatcher, you know, like a lot of dispatchers nowadays are the young kids. Especially when I worked at Sunset, because Sunset was Gainey, it used to be Gainey, and then it came into Sunset. So basically, in a nutshell, these fucking kids grew up with money, and then they became my dispatchers, and they were very condescending and fucking rude to me, and had zero fucking respect for where the money actually comes from, because you can sit and own a goddamn trucking company all motherfucking day long, but if you ain't got some truck drivers out there driving, you ain't making no motherfucking money. You can go buy all kinds of trucks, you can get all kinds of freight, you can do all kinds of shit. But you ain't got none of us dumb motherfuckers out there driving your truck, boy. You ain't making no money. And then you got no fucking respect for us. Actually disrespect us because we're older and all that shit. That's how Sunset was, and I'm glad they went bankrupt. They'll probably just start back up under a different MC number because that's how Gainey's roll. But, you know, that was a condescending little pricks that worked there. That was why I quit. Which I got lucky because they went bankrupt a little while after that. But at least with the dispatchers, you know, I don't know, you can kind of fuck with them a little bit. But these slimy ass little fucking brokers, man. Dude, woke me up yesterday because I had to get up, you know, like 2 in the morning to go make that delivery. So I was in bed fucking early, right? You got me on macro point tracking and shit. I already talked to you. Motherfucker calls, woke me the fuck up for a update, right? And then the next day, I got a delivery of appointment between 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. is when the load's supposed to be there. At 7:15, I'm rolling there. I'm like 3 miles away from the delivery at 7:15. I call that pretty well on time, right? The phone rings. I see it's the broker. I'm like, yeah, go suck a dick. Call right back. Hang up, call right back. They kept doing that. I was like, you motherfucking stupid ass idiots, man. Like, so I just didn't even talk to them for like, I think they must have called my dispatcher because I just ignored them after that. You want to be stupid like that, you're not going to hear from me at all, you know. And then we get there, we're doing that load, had a load all set up, fucking broker pulled the load on us. 11 a.m. pickup appointment, can't be there more than an hour early. It's 9 a.m. I'm going to be empty within a half hour at the most, right? And he wanted the truck empty 3 hours prior to the fucking pickup appointment. Like, what? So you just basically want us to sit around for free to cater to your ass, because that's where the market's at right now. But when it spins back around, we can stick it to him again, man. And the guy I'm working for, he will too. You should hear him. He's funny. He tells him to go suck his dick. All kinds of shit. Makes me wonder if he's going to get blacklisted, but it's funny to listen to him talk to him. Yeah, so they fucking pull out the fucking load on us, man, because of that. And honestly, when I was talking to my dude, I go, man, you should have lied. And he was like, yeah, you're right. I should have just fucking lied. Should have just lied and said we were empty sitting at a truck stop, because how the fuck would they have known? But on the same note, you know, why is that necessary? Why is all this lying going on? The brokers are lying to the dispatchers are lying to the brokers, company owners are lying, fucking everybody's lying to the drivers. You know, a lot of times when the brokers give you an appointment, say your appointment's 9 a.m., it's probably really 10. They always say an hour early. Just all this fucking lying all the time. We lie, the truck drivers lie, you know, not me, of course, but it's all just so unnecessary, man. It's not like we're fucking Ocean's 11 or CIA agents or some shit doing some craziness. It's pretty fucking simple, man. We push shit in the trailer, we take it somewhere, we take shit out of the trailer. We put some more shit in the trailer, we take it there. It's really fucking simple. No, you don't really need to be a whole bunch of lying going on. We could just all do it like it's supposed to be done. That's a theory, you know? I don't know. Just fucking dealing with them, man. The other day, this young little prick, you know, because these little young pricks go get these broker jobs and they think they got something. They think they got a career. It's a shitty job, man. I mean, maybe if you're the actual broker with the broker license, you might make some money, but what the fuck are you doing, boy? I mean, that's a boy job. I mean, go get a man job. Well, they think they're in charge or something. Isn't that crazy? Like, first of all, the brokers ain't in charge of the guys who own the trucking companies. Like, think about it. Who's got more money, you think? The guys who own the trucking companies or the brokers? I guess it would depend on the size of the trucking company, but how the fuck does that work? It's always like when the shippers and receivers give me shit. I always think, what is this, like a $50,000, $60,000 a year job? I make like 90. Like, what the fuck? And I'm an idiot? No, I think you're an idiot. So the little broker bitches, they think they got some sort of fucking job, like they're trading stocks on Wall Street or some shit, you know, and they're gonna make it. No, you don't, really. You don't. You probably ought to look at a different career, man. So this little fucker the other day calls me, or I call him up to check in for a load, you know, like we gotta do sometimes. And he wants my fucking MC number. And I was like, my MC number? And he's like, yeah. I was like, I don't know. I'd have to get out and look on the side of the truck. And he's like, you don't know your MC number? And I'm like, no, I don't. What the fuck? What are we doing with the MC number? He's like, you even know what an MC number is? He's like, I know what an MC number is. I've only been doing this for a year and I know what an MC number is. And I'm like, oh, good for you. Let's get you a fucking cookie, son. Oh boy, I'd be proud. I wish you were my son. And that's why I beat my fucking children when I was raising them. Because they're all tough and they're all smart. I didn't actually beat them, but according to the law, I did, because I spanked them. You know what I mean? Sometimes I spanked them right in public. I don't know if I'd do that nowadays, man. The fucking government's getting all weird. Probably take your kids away and shit. But me and my ex-wife, we didn't give a fuck. We'll kick your fucking ass too. That's how we rolled. My kids are all good, man. They never acted like brats in the store. They never did shit. They all turned out pretty damn good. My son drinks a little bit too much, but hell, he makes $40 an hour or more. Iron worker. He's fucking hard-working construction guy. Drink her up, bud. And what can I say? I raised him with me drinking all the time, so what can I say? My girls are chill. Got a nurse and a school teacher. So I think I did all right with that. But this little prick, man, goes with that whole fucking deal. Don't you know what MC now? What the fuck are you even talking about? I go, hey man, listen up, dude. I start yelling at him. I go, I ain't a fucking dispatcher or nothing calling in to fucking book a load. I'm a goddamn driver checking in, you idiot. Like, when's the last time they ever asked you for an MC number when you're a driver checking in? All that shit gets covered when the load gets fucking brokered. You know what I mean? Like, you're the dumbass, you little shit. Yeah, it's frustrating, you know. So on that note, I'm going to tell you a little story, because you guys like my stories, you know. Now, I didn't make this up. This is something you'll hear around from the older guys. Some of you might have already heard it, but I deal with it with the dispatchers and the little broker bitches a lot, right? And it's, alright, so there's this young bull and this old bull. They're standing up on a hill, right? And they're looking down at this pasture full of cows, right? The young bull looks over at the old bull and he says, let's run down there and fuck us one of those cows. The old bull looks back over at the young bull. He says, no. Let's walk down there and fuck all them cows. You get it? That's the difference between being old and young. You don't fucking run nowhere and do that shit. You walk down there and take it all. Fucking simmer the fuck down. So I'm sitting here on this on-ramp, right? And this Volvo just pulls up here in front of me just now. I'm eating my fine mac and cheese, you know what I'm saying? Which I do believe that he just ruined my damn appetite. Motherfucker just pulled up there. Jumped out of his truck, ran out on the side, thought he was gonna take a piss. That happens, right? He just dropped down and took a shit right there. Next to a steer tire? Alright, that's kind of fucked up. But then he didn't even wipe his ass or nothing. He just pulled his pants back up and got in the truck and just drove away. Oh shit, here I go with another one of my thoughts, right? Got another one of my thoughts for you. So this road construction shit, right? So as truck drivers, we got all this responsibility and liability and all these rules and regulations, you know, like about what? About that much? About, you know, quite a bit of shit, right? What about the road construction companies? Shouldn't they have a little bit of liability involved in when they set up a fucking construction zone, right? Like Texas is a perfect example. You'll be driving to be 4, even 5 lanes, right? And they do like this sway thing where you got to go around and come back over and all that shit. Well, there ain't no motherfucking lines, dude. Like, you can't see the lines. You got like 4 people, or, you know, 4 lanes running, and all of a sudden the shit turns. You're like, well, where the fuck am I supposed to be at? It's crazy, fucking dangerous as fuck, right? And they're all worried, like, did you PC on your logbook for a half an hour? That's dangerous. You're a danger to society. How about the fucking 100,000 people that are driving through that shitty construction zone, man? That motherfucker, west of Little Rock, Arkansas there, first of all, that shit's been under construction for like 6 goddamn years. And it's only like a 5-mile stretch. Ridiculously long time. It was on the news. One of the things they were saying in the news is they got all those steel plates in there. They were popping people's fucking tires and shit. Like a whole bunch of them. Like all just lined up down the road. No one's checking the plates or nothing. And then maybe just get the construction done a little bit fucking faster already, you know, and stop milking that shit out. But they put those Jersey barriers in there so goddamn close, man. Holy shit, you're riding that wall. It's pretty rough. Have you ever hit the wall with your trailer tires? Try it sometime. I did it once on accident, and it ain't like you think. It actually jumps up the wall, because at the, you know, at the bottom the wall's rounded. Your fucking trailer goes like that. It's pretty crazy, man. It's pretty fucked up, man. But what the fuck, you know, a little bit of liability, a little bit of responsibility for that shit. How about the you come up to a traffic backup, you know, and you gotta sit there and wait, and it says right lane closed, and everyone's merging to the left, and you're all fucked up for a long time, and then you get up there, the lane ain't even fucking closed. Lazy little construction bitches didn't go back there and take the fucking signs down or cover them up. Ah, happens, don't it? It happens. I'll tell you this shit I ran into, I don't know, it's a couple weeks ago now, but during that whole snow bullshit that we, you know, the typical winter, but it sucks. Winter sucks. So I was up to New York State, right? And they had the fucking New York Thruway closed to commercial vehicles because of the weather situation, the blizzard situation that's going on. The roads were completely dry. I mean, it wasn't snowing, there wasn't nothing. It was completely bone-ass dry. But they still closed the fucking thruway down to trucks. And the reason they did that is because the weather people are full of shit now. Because everyone's got to get views and get paid and all that. So we got to do fear-mongering and get people to, you know, tune in. You know, put catchy titles and all that. And they were talking a bunch of shit. You know, oh, it's the end of the world. You know, they got a big snowstorm coming. They do that, and you're like, it's Michigan, it snows here all the time. Or they're like, oh, wildfires in California, it happens all the time. You know, on and on. Flooding in fucking Houston happens. We always get that. Hurricane in Florida, no shit. Really? Like, tell us something we don't fucking know already, right? And then they trump it up, you know, and then they go stand out in the wind. You ever see them? They pretend like it's blowing them away. Oh, it's getting me, right? What the fuck, dude? Alright, so do that shit, you know, and then I just won't watch it. But here's what happens: your goddamn bureaucrats or whatever that run the whole shit show, they're watching them faggots on the weather. So, no offense to faggots, by the way. But, they think that shit's actually gonna happen, so they go ahead and, shut the fucking road down when it's dry. Like, maybe send someone out there to look at it. Can you afford that? Being that we paid $900 fucking in tolls to go across this son of a bitch, can't you just send a guy out there and he'll call you and go, hey, it's time to shut it down? There's a theory, huh? I got all these theories, man. So I had to deal with that shit pretty much twice, because the second time I went back out to New York, they had the thruway shut down again. And because they was going to get 3 foot of snow in Buffalo. And at first I was like, yeah, I don't run out here that often, you know. It's lake effect. We get lake effect in Michigan. I get it. But 3 foot? I've seen that like in the mountains out west, up on top of the mountain. But really? That's a lot of snow. But I'm thinking, well, hey, man, it ain't my area. Maybe they are. That's fucking crazy. Yeah, my ass, dude. I ended up going around on 89 or is it 86? Can't remember. But I went around and still made it up in there, no problem. Everything was shut down. They couldn't get across into Canada and the whole fucking 9 yards. And I went and made my delivery on time. And you know what happened with their 3 foot of snow? They got 10 inches. It's just still enough to kind of fuck the roads up, don't get me wrong, but it is a big difference, man. There's a big difference there. 3 foot to 10 fucking inches, you know. Telling you on that one. Because what we was doing, I got this theory about my guy, you know. I think we was chasing some rates, you feel me? Because you know how that works, right? When a snowstorm or something like that is coming in to the area, then the trucks avoid it because the drivers don't really want to go there. If the trucking companies are smarter ones, they probably don't want to send their trucks there because, yeah, it might pay a little more or whatever, but then you got all the liability of getting into an accident and all that shit that it might end up costing you more, or you might just irritate the driver because the driver doesn't want to drive in those conditions, you know, something like that. So the trucks start to pull out of that area. What happens when the trucks start to pull out? It lowers the capacity, right? But the volume's still up. So they need to get the fucking freight out of there. So they raise the rates to entice dumb motherfuckers like me to come in and get it. Well, I believe my boss man there was chasing some rates because you could look on the radar and on the United States map and it could be, you know, clear all everywhere, right? And there'd be a snowstorm here, there, whatever, right? Snowstorm in Buffalo. I'm in Buffalo. Ice storm in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina. Ice storm in fucking St. Louis. I'm in St. Louis. Snowstorm in Kansas. I'm in Kansas. Wow. I don't know, maybe it's just me. You know, and it's like, whatever, I get it. I know I got to drive in the snow, but I was like, God damn, man. It went on for like 3 weeks or 4 weeks or something. I stayed out 6 weeks that time. I was getting pretty sick of it, man. I'm thinking, like, you better send me somewhere else, dude. This is starting to piss me off. I drive in every now and then, you know, but not every motherfucking day with that bullshit. You feel me? The police is up here kicking people off the on-ramp today because them boys parked out there, dude. Some of them parked like they're in the highway, man. Here's the on-ramp. That's the highway. You know, it's a little bit too far. I get it. There ain't no parking. I understand. It is an issue, but this fucking place, man. Buffalo, New York, dude. Shit can get tight up in this motherfucker. Got low bridges and all kinds of stupid shit that you gotta get around, right? So I get around the low bridges and I find my way in here because where I have to deliver is actually like right on the bridge, so you don't know, is it on that side, this side, and blah, blah, blah. I get in here. It's kind of an industrial area, right? I mean, there's fucking buildings, shipping all over the place. But what these fucking assholes do is they go out and they know that the trucks got to go up on the sidewalks and all this shit to fucking make the corners. So they stack all these pallets and shit out there to try to block us from going in. Well, we have to go in to get your shit. You can't run your business without shipping your shit, can you? So how about this? How about you make the motherfuckers so that, you know, trucks can get in there? Is that a concept? You know, maybe fix your fucking neighborhood up a little bit. Don't try to block us out and then call us to come pick up your fucking load. Right? So I gotta do this. Basically, I gotta fucking turn around, right? So what? I can't make the right hand turn because I'm gonna hit those pallets and shit on the corner. So what I did is I went forward past them, and then I backed into them, and I fucking monster truck snowplowed that shit with my goddamn DOT bumper and knocked all their fucking pallets into their parking lot. Because it ain't gonna hurt the back of the trailer, right? I mean, the back of the trailer backs into fucking everything. So then I backed back up and I could make the right hand turn because they weren't in the way anymore. And it was out there looking at me like I was some sort of fucking, you know, evil villain because I drove up on the sidewalk with my trailer to pick up their bullshit. And I was thinking to myself, what the fuck are you gonna do, man? Like, you're lucky I didn't go turn around your goddamn employee parking lot, because I will, man. I will all day long. And what the fuck are you gonna do about it, man? Like, make me get another job? I already do that. Fucking tell me something real. Holy golly, boy, you ever pull into a Walmart to go do some shopping, right? Which is cool, got a bunch of shit. And then you get in the parking lot and they got all those little islands and rocks and shit blocking everybody because they don't fucking want us there, you know what I mean, right? It can be like a damn puzzle. Like, I can't make this right, I can't make that left, but if I make 2 lefts and 1 right, that'll turn me back around so I can make that left. It's like a fucking puzzle in there, man. And really, you know what? I could say fuck Walmart because we bring all their shit to them, right? Well, us and their fleet, but you know, it's really not Walmart. that tells us not to be there in most cases. Shut up, GPS, I'm fucking making a video. Isn't that rude? In a lot of cases, it's the township zoning won't allow the trucks in there. Walmart don't have a problem with it. In a lot of cases. Research it. Google it. If you don't fucking believe me, Google that shit. You know what that shit I said earlier about the foreigners and all that, you know, right? Dude, I'm all about immigration, man. We need people, right? So I'm at this, I see it all the time, like when I was doing produce and shit. But right now I'm at this tree farm delivering a load of trees, right? So first of all, when I picked the trees up, man, they loaded them like lickety-split. And they're individual fucking, like, little trees that gotta go in there by hand, right? Well, I come rolling in here this morning and I'm way back out here in the field and all that shit. And I gotta get this unloaded and I got a place I need to be after this and all that nonsense. And these 3 Mexicans show up. And I'm like, oh no, man, it's gonna be a minute, right? Oh no, man. Don't underestimate them fucking Mexicans, boy. They can get some shit done, alright? They're some hard-working motherfuckers, ain't they? I sat there for a minute and all these pickups come out of the woodwork, man. Next thing you know, we got like 20 motherfucking Mexicans back there. They had that shit done lickety-split, man. So I'm all about that shit, man. I'm all about immigration for certain jobs. I'm just not thinking that you need to be faking your paperwork and pretending like you're a truck driver. I'm all about immigrants driving truck. They just need to be trained correctly and speak English and be able to actually fucking do it and communicate and shit. That's fine by me. I'm just saying, don't fake your fucking paperwork and come over here and run everything over and piss everybody off like a dumb fuck. Man, what a tough time it would be to like own a trucking company right now, you know, with the fucking rates and then the fuel's down a little bit, right? But then the repairs, it's just like getting fucked. I mean, we're all getting fucked anyway. Like I'm buying a trailer right now, but we'll talk about that later. But like my kids are all like living with roommates and shit, other than my son. And this trailer I'm buying, my dad's gonna be living with me. So it's like the United States in general, man, the housing is way overpriced and just everything's fucked up. But we're talking about trucking. Dude, I just try to bend you over, man. So we had that wheel seal go out on here, right? And fortunately I was still able to finish my loads. That's one nice thing about disc brakes versus drum brakes, because I believe if it would have been drum brakes, all the oil would have got up in there and been trapped, and then we would have been smoking and I would have had to get it done sooner. But being it was disc brakes, you know, the oil just flies out. So I was able to get my loads off and we could get the wheel seal done at our convenience, okay? So I let my boss man know that it needs to be done. He says, you know, stop and get it done somewhere. I call around, you know, see who can get it done the fastest. This place like an hour and a half up the road. And they're like, yeah, we can get it done. So I'm like, cool. I let him know. He calls them. He says, all right, send me over an estimate. So I get in there. I drop my trailer. They pull my bobtail into the garage, right, into the shop. And no more than they pull that fucker in there, my phone rings and it's boss man. And he's like, yo, dude, they want $1,200 to change that fucking wheel seal. I was like, what? That's crazy. I was like, let me go in here and talk to her. They must have told you wrong. I go in there and ask her, I was like, you guys really say $1,200 to change that wheel seal? And she's like, yeah, that's what it is. It gave me a whole bunch of bullshit. And I was like, nah, fuck that. We're not doing that. We're taking the truck. And she's like, we already have it in the shop, sir. Well, I just went and got it out of the shop, right? And they were pretty pissed about it. I just went and jumped in it and drove it out. But it was a full-on scam, man. They had over an hour to get that estimate back to my boss, and then he would have said, fuck no, we're not going there. But think about what they did. They thought that if once we dropped the trailer, had it in there, we need to get it done. Maybe it's a larger company, you know, where you're calling and you're talking to someone who doesn't know anything about truck mechanics. So they're thinking, okay, $1,200, that must be how much it costs, because they don't know nothing about it. Well, me and my boss know about it. I actually thought it was going to be like $700 or $600. He thought it was going to be $400. So we were figuring somewhere in between there, right? So you see what they did? They waited till the last minute thinking we'd go, oh, okay, you know, or something like that. But we didn't. We just pulled the truck. I drive 45 miles down to Love's, and they changed the wheel seal for $475 fucking dollars, new brake pads and everything on there, right? big difference in money. And I know a lot of people would say, oh, you're not getting the same quality of work at Love's or whatever. Yeah, maybe sometimes I do agree with that. I can't say 100% on that, but I will tell you this. I got over 10,000 miles on that wheel seal right now, and it ain't leaking. So they did it. They got the job done. We ran into another deal. There's a whole bunch of them, but I'll just say one more. We ran into another deal. I caught a chunk of steel in my tire, and then I was going to get the tire changed, and the guy said he could fix it, and I was looking at it going, I think that's too big, you know, because, I mean, I'm a mechanic, but I didn't just start as a mechanic, man. I had to change oil and tires and shit, and do all that shit for years before I worked my way up and got all my different levels of certification to be a mechanic. So I repaired quite a lot of tires back in the day. And I was looking at that going, man, that's too big to fucking fix that hole. But as I said earlier, with the dude showing me how to tether my phone and all that, I was like, a lot of technology changes. Maybe they can fucking fix holes that big now. What do I know? You know what I mean? I never underestimate these young whippersnappers. So he fixed the tire, and then he aired it up, and it fucking leaked. It didn't work. The patch didn't take. So they want to give us a new tire, right? So here's the deal. They want to do a recap, which if you don't know what tires is basically a reused tire. And they blow out a lot. It's not a good idea to buy recaps. You won't get your money out of them usually. They end up just fucking blowing out. You're better off buying a virgin, you know, a brand new tire. So they want to give us this recap, and by the time it's installed and everything on the truck, it's going to be like $575 for one fucking trailer tire installed. Isn't that ridiculous? So we just put that other tire back on, and I got that auto inflate system on the trailer, which is nice. So it was leaking, but it kept it aired up enough for me to get into Chicago. And dude found a cheap tire shop that gave pretty good deals, and we got another tire for a fucking lot less, man. For $265 installed out the door. Yeah, that's how bad it is. Well, my friends, it is the end of the week, right? Is this video long enough for you, huh? Appreciate everyone who watched it all the way through, right? Oh, man, I tell you. Yeah, it's been a little bit of a struggle, but we're going to do a reset here, and I got to get some cleaning done up in this bad boy, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? What do you think about this shirt, huh? Some people be fucking with me, man, and telling me that this is a chick shirt. I don't know. What do you guys think, man? I think it's fucking fabulous. I think it's fucking fabulous. It's very warm and soft and cushy. And, you know, that's how I roll, dude. What can I say? Because let me tell you what happened, alright? I went into Walmart to get me some more beer. And, you know, I noticed the word more beer. You know, not get some beer. So I was a little bit, you know, and I was like, ooh, that shirt is fabulous. I got to have that. So I bought it. And I wore it. And everyone called me a homo and everything. A few people said I look like a pimp. But, you know, now ever since then, people have been fucking with me about my goddamn shirt, man. This is a right fine shirt. You know, nothing wrong with it. So that's the deal with the shirt. But yeah, it's the end of the week, man. I gotta get back. I'm buying me a house trailer. But we'll talk about that later on. I'm finally getting around to buying me a fucking house trailer. So I'm actually gonna have a place to live here pretty soon, possibly when I get back. I don't know. We're gonna see what happens with all that bullshit. Hey, who's coming to help me move anyway? I know some of y'all are from the same hood that I am, because you guys know where I'm at out at Coopersville and shit all the time. So, you know, hit me up if you want to come help me move. I'll pay you. Oh yeah. Well, you know, I gotta tell you a little quick story. Oh, imagine that, another fucking story. Jesus, with all these stories all the time. About this new boss man I'm working for, right? The dude is pretty fucking cool. He's pretty chill, right? Because a lot of these places I work for, you know, they got 2, 3, 4, 500 trucks. They're pretty serious, you know. We're pretty by the book. We're pretty fucking serious about shit. So I accidentally kind of slipped up. We was talking about motorcycles and shit like that, right? And I actually kind of slipped up. And I'm not going to go into why, because it's just a dumb reason. And I ended up telling him this story that most people would probably be like, what the fuck, dude? But he was laughing his ass off. And I was telling him that it's actually not funny. It's actually highly irresponsible. But he thought it was just great. So here's what happened, right? I got me a Harley Davidson. A lot of you know that. because I always talk about it because I fucking love my motorcycle. So I left, I was out riding with some people. There was about 9 of us all together, right? And we was at the bar, and we left the bar, and alright, I know with the whole drinking and driving, and I know especially with the drinking and driving on a motorcycle is a dumb idea, right? But I don't judge people, so I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to tell anybody what to do, you know, unless it's affecting me or harming my family or something. I don't really care that much. So we leave out the bar. I've myself have had about 4 beers. For me, that ain't shit. I drink like a fucking 5th, you know what I mean? That ain't no problem. Now, would I legally blow a DUI? Yes, I would. Probably on 4 beers. I don't want to risk it. Now, am I worried about crashing a motorcycle because I had fucking 4 beers, you know, over a length of time? No, I wasn't even hardly that buzzed up. Now, the people I was riding with, they was pretty fucked up. I'll admit it, you know. So we get out there, we got all the bikes lined up outside the bar, you know. I happen to be on this end of it, and we're going that way, right? These people, you know, I'm getting my, it was summer evening, so it was a little chilly, so I'm getting my coat and stuff on, my gloves and all that. They're doing more shots, you know, getting ready. We put all of our shit in our saddlebags and everything. First dude takes off, whoa, you know, hammering, then next bike, you know, you got to keep up with the guy in the front, right? So we're all fucking throttling down, right? So we're hammering down the highway, which is cool, right? When it's a nice summer evening like that, you got the fucking radio playing, you got 9 bikes riding in a pack like that. Just the rumble of those bikes alone is pretty badass. If you like it, you know, if it's your thing. Well, we're doing about 90, maybe 100, something like that. And I know better than to do that on that road. But sure shit, coming out from by the dump there, fucking here comes the po-po, and they light us up. I'm in the back. Right? So I'm like, fuck. Everybody just hammers, you know. So I'm hammering too. I'm not gonna fucking pull over. That'd be fucking stupid. Lose my goddamn CDL and shit, you know. Better to run the risk than the guaranteed. Because it'd be guaranteed that motherfucker would be breathalyzing me. So I'm about to lose my livelihood, you know. So I'm with everybody else, man. We're fucking hammering. Well, we're doing like probably $120, $130, I don't know, maybe even more. I mean, that sounds stupid, but the bike will do 150 easy. I'm sure I've had it up to 140. After that, I get a little scared. But this dude's in one of those Ford Explorers or some shit. It's probably got a 6-cylinder in there, so he's struggling to keep up with us a little bit. Well, we get into the city, and everybody just fucking started cutting off on side roads and shit, like, you know, kind of like the Mexicans at the border, man. No offense to the Mexicans, but, you know, kind of like that. It's a good idea. Everybody breaks up. How's he going to catch us all? Well, I'm thinking to myself, fuck, he's going to go after me because I'm in the back, you know, and I needed to go straight. But I went straight, and for some reason, he went after the lead guy. I think he might have known him or something. Well, here's the thing. I got a 103. That's not a very big Harley, really. The guy that was leading had like a 140 or whatever. That's a pretty badass bike. That fucking cop in that Ford Explorer, you don't even know where he's even gonna be. You know, that guy's gonna be so far gone. And people don't understand it, unless you're a biker, how easy it is to lose them, right? Because say you turn into a residential neighborhood or something like that. You turn that corner and he's on your ass. You hit that fucker, dude, you're hammering before you get to the next corner. He's still trying to get into it. Drop it down real fast. Yank that corner. Hammer. Hit the next corner. Hammer. Hit the next corner. By then, you lost him. He can't even see you no more. You know, pretty hard to catch a motorcycle. So he takes off after that dude, and my storage unit was right up the road. So I fucking commenced to, like, I was doing 130 in a 45. Because at that point, I knew the cops were looking for every motorcycle in that whole fucking area. So if I run into another cop up here, I need to have my speed up, right? So I was like 100 and something in a fucking 45. I come into my storage unit, put it in, shut the door, jump in my pickup, like, I'm good. Nobody knows nothing now. I'm in my fucking pickup. I go back home and then I finish drinking, you know, because you can't start without finishing. And I get up in the morning and I start thinking about that, and I was like, God damn, Dustin, that was irresponsible as fuck, wasn't it? I mean, it's felony all day long, right? Now, I do have to say, this story, for legal purposes, may or may not be true. This could just be something that I'm making up for entertainment purposes, right? You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So, that covers the liability on that whole deal. I hope. It was a while ago anyway. And good luck proving it. So yeah, that's pretty funny how I tell the guy that and he just laughs about it, because a lot of people I worked for would have been like, oh my god, I mean, they act like you fucking get some sort of little stupid violation out here on the road that you ought to be hung high, you know. So that's it, my friends. As always, I appreciate you guys watching, man. I'm sorry I don't get to the comments, you know. I'll try a little bit more, but man, I tell you what, dude, I got a tiny ass YouTube channel and you get a lot, man, a lot of comments and emails, and it takes forever and I just can't even get to them. So I apologize for that, but I'm gonna try to do it a little bit better. I'll try to be a better person.